All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric from TopFlight Trades. It is June 6th, 2015, and I have a spider crawling on my webcam. That's wonderful. All right. Hey, this is Eric from TopFlight Trades, and what this video is the weekend review. Pretty much what we do is kind of look at last week, take a look at the markets, how we did, and, of course, look ahead to next week. And I don't think we're going to have a writer around today. But we may have a few others. If not, it's going to be just me, and it'll be short. So we will see here. So let me make sure I can get the link provided and copied in case we have others that are going to join us. Let me do this. All right, let me shoot on over here, and we will take care of business. All right. That here we go. I'm posting the link to join the chat in the chat room at topflighttrades.com. So if you're over there and you miss it, you can check it out and you can join that way. Get back to my page where I'm at here. I can find myself. All right. Here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to shoot through some charts real quick. We'll take a look and see what the markets are doing. And I'll provide a little feedback on what I think is going on. Where do we go here? Which screen is it? What is my deal today? Oh, I guess this is it here. Okay. So, all right. Well, anyways, hey, I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Hope you like the time of doing the Saturday at noon time. With summer coming up, I get a lot more activities on the weekend. I'm losing a lot of my time to study and prepare for this video. And of course, I wonder how well it fits in with your schedule. But this will be recorded on the website. It's also available on YouTube and Google Plus, as well as topflighttrades.com. So come on over and check it out. So first thing we're going to look at is the markets here today. So last week was not a very good week. Basically, of course, here's the S&P on the daily. You can see we came to these highs here a couple weeks ago, and since have kind of been peeling back. And what are we looking at? Well, what I see down here is I see the 100-day moving average. Expect us probably to come down and hit that, unless, of course, we have some spectacular news next week or something where investor confidence is suddenly boosted. Of course, this thing Monday morning can just take off. But right now, the short term, I think it's going to continue downward. And again, we've already, this gold line here is the 50-day. Let me zoom in a little bit and you can see it a little bit better. Okay, we are screen sharing. Anyways, here's the 50-day right here. We broke through that. And next we have the 50. And then you can see this channel I have in here. It's a linear regression. I kind of leave it plugged in. I don't rely on it too much, except to kind of, pretty much validate a channel, essentially. But it's helpful sometimes to have it on. But anyways, let me do this. Let me lighten it a little bit. It's kind of bold here. Let me do that. Yeah, it might be a little bit better. Okay, so anyways, so what we got here is we have, of course, the 50-day, and then down here we have the 200-day. Now, I don't think we're going to come down to the 200-day. I think we will eventually. And it could be here in the next few months. But what do I know? We got to get past the 100 first. So we could likely come down to the 100 and test this line, and then hopefully get a bounce off that, or we're going to continue downward. Now, there's one thing that I'm looking at here that kind of makes me a little skeptical about things, is our RSI. Let me zoom this up so we can kind of see a little bit clearer. There we go. Okay, so here's our RSI. And you can see we've pretty much going back to the October 15th big dip we had there. Going back to that point, you can see just drawing this line here. No, it's not really exact, but you can kind of get the idea. Here we are. So we're coming right down to that point. Will it fail? I don't know. We'll see. You could actually kind of draw it if you want to go to those 2 points back here, October and then our December. We got a little bit more room to go. So I think that may be the case. I think we're going to come down this way. However we want to draw the RSI, I think we're going to come down a bit, and that affords us room back up here on with the 100-day, and this coming back down to the channel at least. So I'm thinking we're going to be doing that. me see if we see anything on the weekly here. Oh, chart's a mess. Sorry, I moved everything around. Okay. Anyways, go back to, here we go. Okay. Well, we'll take a look at the Nasdaq real quick here. Okay, so I got a lot of lines drawn everywhere, don't I? Oh, it's the weekly. Okay, here's the daily. So this is what we're looking like as well. Just kind of sitting up here. You know, on a good strong stock, I would be excited for this setup right here. Kind of coming up here and trading sideways a bit, and coming up and hitting support or resistance a couple of times here. It's knocking, and if you know, I'm really strongly bullish, and this is a good strong company, I'd expect this to knock a few more times and then finally pop on through. Essentially, just you know, form a base and kind of form a multiple top or a ascending triangle. Essentially, just coming up and knocking on the floor before it pops through. That's what I want to see, but I'm just not convinced of that right now. So I am kind of on the fence with the markets right now. I'm not playing all long bullish calls. I am on the downside as well, and doing nicely on that side as well. So I'm kind of just on the fence with the markets right now. And you know, it's important for me to have confidence in the markets and to have a good you know, has some assurance or some confidence that things are going to continue, because I don't want to trade against the market. That's the big thing for me. Trading against the market is, you know, it's swimming upstream. You're not going to get very far. Okay, so here's the Dow, and you can see the Dow is looking much weaker. We've already broke down through the 100-day right here. This is on the daily chart. Okay, that's not very good. And then coming back here to the RSI, this is what I've been watching. Now it's zoomed in. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Okay, so we got our support line through here. We say we've come down to touch it there, and that was January. Again, you know, just kind of hit, but we finally broke through it. And so with that, that's got me a little concerned. And we've broken through the 100-day before, but we haven't broken through that area there. So that's kind of with the Dow. Now that's kind of like an indicator for me that, you know, the Dow could be leading the pack here in weakness and could be showing us a sign here. So, and that's about what I'm thinking the market's doing. That's about where my confidence is. It's starting to slip on the downside, but you know, we don't know yet. Now you want to look at IBD. They're still calling the market in a confirmed uptrend. We haven't had the distribution days to change that yet. So it's probably pretty close. I know here a couple weeks ago that they did change it, change the market sentiment there, the direction. But right now, again, it's back to a confirmed uptrend, and you know, I'm kind of in the middle on it. But you know, it's just good to be cautious. None of us know exactly what the heck's gonna happen tomorrow. That's the whole thing about this. But it's important to be prepared and not be blinded by it. You get a lot of people who trade and they buy and they hold forever, and they have no idea what's going on with the market. And some of these moves, if I'm like, you know, closing some positions out, some long positions out now, that's fine. I can always get back into them. I'm just being a little bit more cautious, and I have closed out some positions on the premium picks. And then I'm also playing some options on the downside as well. So kind of doing good in some stocks, some both directions. So and as far as the option plays that I'm doing right now, I'm not really announcing that because I still have a lot of ways to go. I'm new at it. I've only been trading them for 3-4 months now. I'm making money, but it's nothing that I necessarily want to come on here and boast and talk about, because you know, I want more of a record there to see if I got my system is performing well. So I'm definitely not the options guy, but I want to thank our members. So we got some members who trade options and meet and chat, and have been really helpful as far as finding some plays and explaining some real elementary things with options. And of course, we have new members as well that are learning options as well. But my site is not an option site. It's primarily stocks, but you know, we look at all options to make money. So that's what we're looking at with the markets right now. So let me look at the daily here. This is the daily on, or I'm sorry, the weekly on the Dow. Okay. Let me do this. What do we got here? Okay. So what I had seen something like that, and you could see it's failed, but you know, it doesn't mean it's not going to bounce. It's, we're coming right down to the 50 line on the weekly, and it could very well bounce right off that 50. So that's on the weekly. Back to the daily. I already screwed my chart up here. So anyways, that's what's going on with the markets. Again, I'm cautious about that. So keep your eyes open and be aware of market and the changing conditions. And I wouldn't go strong and long one direction or short the other way, either way, without being a little cautious. And it's the other thing too I've noticed is that a lot of people I'm talking to are definitely not holding stocks very long. Their period of that they're holding them is much limited. Some are holding, just trading intraday now. Some aren't going through the weekend, and I'm kind of now in that camp as well. I do have some positions that I am holding long, some options that are expiring down the road here, and that's fine. But otherwise, I have played some short plays, and I've taken my gains, and I've sold quickly, and it's a whole different game plan as of versus playing my normal play of premium picks and long stocks. So that is that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna shoot through really quickly. I'm just gonna shoot through some of the stocks that I'm currently holding right now and playing. I'm not gonna get into the details on them, but I'll just share with you a little bit. I am short on this one, ESI, ITT Educational. Yeah, pretty much I'm short on it, so we'll see how we do. I think I'm green on it already. I've already had it a few days here. I bought a put for June, and yeah, so doing good there. Next one is long on GBOW here. Well, my charts are all screwed up. Let me delete a couple of these lines here. Don't know what they're for. Okay, so let me draw a channel in here as well so we can kind of see. It might be helpful. Okay, that changed. Anyways, I am along this. We'll see. Hoping to see $5 out of it, but we'll see. Basically, what kind of caught my eye was just primarily this. Right there. Hoping to get something off that support. I think I got in a couple of days ago back here, and we got this nice pop. It's pulled back a little bit. We got the moving averages underneath there. We got the 100-day moving average tucked underneath there. And then the green here, you can kind of see this light green color. That's the 13-day exponential moving average. And I kind of like that to kind of keep an eye on things. So right now we're still above those, but we got some support there. So that's GBOW. Got into Facebook here a couple days ago back in this area. And I like what it's doing. So yeah, I'm long on this. I want to see this thing climb up. I'd love to see it get back up to 86 area and beyond. So you can see the RSI here. That's kind of one thing I was looking for here. Wanted to break ahead, and then we kind of followed the resistance here and then finally popped through it. So yeah, playing that one. And then there's this one, MCF, Contago. This one I've been playing in and out quite a bit. Boy, originally started back here. And then earnings, and then this thing was just going, and it's still going. I expect it to fall further. What am I looking at here? Yeah, so I am in that. I've been in and out of that several times, and I'm still short on that. I bought some puts. I'm expecting this thing to continue downward for a while. Let's take a look at the weekly. Here's the weekly. So even on the weekly, it's broken out of the linear regression channel here. And things just aren't looking good for old Contago. I played this stock some months ago, and I think I took a loss on it, if I remember right. Not a big one, but I played it somewhere back. No, I couldn't have. No, it couldn't have been this one. This company stinks. I would never have played a company that had such bad financials as this one. So I don't know. So anyways, next we have Tech Resources. Now, this one I currently hold some put options on this one. I'm in the money on them. We'll see what we do here. Kind of looks like we're kind of finding some support in this area, about 1150. We'll see. But I'm still optimistic that the trade will go my way and it'll continue downward. Next, we have HNR. Now, this is one, if it'll pull up. HNR. Pull up. Okay. HNR did not go my way. It's currently at about $2, and I bought a put on it with a strike price of 1. It was, I don't know, about $1.20 or something when I bought it. And of course, right after I got into it, it turned around. So it's pretty much a lost cause for me. But I'm still thinking it can move. And it'll probably go my way. Alaskan Airlines, I got into this. So was nothing working now? What's going on here? Oh, trading view, not again. Okay. Let's try this again. HNR. I don't know what it is with trading view. Sometimes some tickers don't even load. Try ALK again. No ALK. No Alaska. No AMBA loads. ALK doesn't. Okay. I'm in Alaska. I am long on that. All right. What else do we have? LCI. I'm long on this one too. I bought some calls on this. I did buy a put for some protection, light, not a very big order, but I'm hoping this climbs. What is with that? I must have drew that on the weekly. Let me adjust this here a bit. Basically, we just got some good support in this area here. Okay, now you can see a little bit better close up. Anyways, we climbed up pretty good, pulled back to this area here, and we've been finding support. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I've been playing this one for here a few weeks now, few weeks. I got in back in this area. I think probably in one of the, let me zoom in, one of these candles. I've just been trading sideways since. So I am hoping to see some movement Friday. We're up 2.5%, nearly. Hoping we get some action out of it. ICLD, you know, if trading view isn't going to work, I'm out of business today. ICLD, I'm definitely bearish on that. I've been playing that one for a while now. I've got several different positions, all puts on the option side. Yeah, it continues to fall. NTLS, I'd like to see it come into this area below in the 7s. And Friday's action. Where's the thing here? Okay, now trading view is not even giving me any quotes. Wonderful. Okay. Anyways, I'm expecting this thing to come back down to earth. You can see here, looking at the RSI, even what I had drawn here, it's a little bit out of date, but that's what I was looking at right here, and that's when I got in. And now we've really fallen there. RSI is falling much greater than the actual stock price right now. But we'll see how we do next week. Again, I'm kind of thinking next week's going to be red, not necessarily green. Sideways are red, and so I'm positioned for both directions, really. So, and then finally, win. Okay, I'm in this one. Bought some puts on this one as well. Where did I buy those puts? I don't know. I bought the puts. I had my line drawn through there. So I bought, when it broke through right about in here. So it was back just after earnings. Got a good day out of it. And it's just kind of been slowly tanking. And then, yesterday, Thursday, Friday, down 4.27% on Friday. So looking good on that. So those are the ones I'm playing right now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot through. First off, let me take a look and see if we have anybody here. All right. There's chat. Okay. Good. So, back to where I was. Let me find my window here.
Okay. What I'm going to shoot through now is just some stocks that I'm kind of watching. And these aren't all, I'm not bearish on all these. Some of these are just some breakouts. Now, some of these stocks, they're not coming from my my top favorite 50 stocks of the market. These are my top 200. So some of these are certainly weaker. Obviously, if they're not in the top 50 and they're in the top 200, some of them are going to be weaker, obviously. So I'm not putting a lot of confidence in a lot of these, especially with the market. Again, if the market's uncertain, in my view, then everything's uncertain. But some of these are good plays, I think. And either these are close to being ready or they're close to ready. And because they're in the top 200 and not my top 50, they're not gonna make the premium picks list. The premium picks list right now at the top 50 we're not producing any of the breakouts I'm looking for right now. And it's that's really a sign. I mean, I can't force it, but what does that mean? Well, back in January, I think we had 30, nearly a premium pick a day, and just killed it. And since then, it's just been fading out. Is the well running dry? Is the market changing? I mean, we're not getting as many breakouts. A lot of the premium picks are breakout plays. Best companies breaking out. That's where the money is. That's where I make my money. But they're not happening right now. So I can't force them. But some of these are going to be some good breakout plays, but they're just not going to make the premium picks list right now. But I still want to share them with you. So we have AMAG here. It's pharmaceutical. I guess that says it all right there. Currently priced is $71.55. What are we looking at here? So yeah, this thing's definitely been trending upward, and looks like Friday was a pretty good day. Let me zoom in a little bit better for you. Looks like Friday was a pretty good day. We make new highs. Yep. So still got some room in the channel here if you want to follow the linear regression channel. I'm watching CVUM. I want to see some new highs. I'd love to see it break above 74, maybe even close above 75. Give me that little extra. Want to see some movement on this. We got some good volume here on Thursday, faded out on Friday a little bit. Can we push above this area here? Let me just throw this on here. So that's, we'll just call that 74. But for confirmation for me, if I were to play this, and I could very well play it, I'd want to get it up. I'd probably want to see it close above 75. And it can probably easily do that Monday with volume. And then, hey, I'll be in. But if it doesn't, and, we get a wick and it crosses 75, not good enough. I want to see it close above 75. So I'm keeping an eye on that one. CMCM. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, I got crud everywhere on this chart. Okay, so CMCM. Let me delete this. Okay. CMCM, Cheetah Mobile. Now, Cheetah Mobile, for the technical play, made my short list. And I got some emails saying, hey, what are you doing? CMCM, man, looks pretty bullish, not bearish, because it made the short list. I was expecting it to pull back, and it did not pull back very far. Really, I mean, looking at, this thing's really turned around here. Let's look at the weekly. Not a very old company. Yeah, I mean, when I made the short list, that's strictly a technical setup. Okay, there's criteria I look for as far as volume, price action, some indicators that tell me stocks that are in good position to short. And it's not accurate 100% of the time. It's accurate quite well, but this was one of them that made the list. And, I had some people question it. And so they're right, because so far, anyways, because this thing only pulled back here to the 13-day EMA. And then Friday, we got a nice pop out of it. It's up 5.25%. So we'll see. This could come up here and tank, and my indicator would be right after all. But I don't think so. I think CMCM, I don't know much about the company at all. Earnings were positive versus the negative. So, yeah, it'll be a fun one to play. So that's CMCM. Another one here, I was looking for a breakout, which occurred here the other day. Again, I didn't play it. This is COUN. You can see this area right in here is what we were watching. Just draw it in there. We kind of creeped above it and finally got confirmation there. And this thing's starting to move now. So it's a nice, cheaper stock. Again, we were watching it, wanted to see it at least cross 6, close above 6. It did. It's already at 632. Could be a fun one to watch. Again, I don't know anything about the company. I'm just looking at the fundamentals. Then we have CRTO. Finding new highs here recently. I like that. Let's just draw that right like that. Okay. We're at the top of the channel, though, if you want to note that. Yeah. Okay. And then we got, as far as other resistance, let's look over here. You can pretty much, yeah, let's do that. Close to 54. And this thing went and hit a high of 61 1 week. So, okay. So we'll see about that. Then we have cyber. What do we got going with cyber? Okay. What do I like about cyber? I think I liked, this is from my quick scan this morning. What do we got here? Yeah. Pretty much something like that. You can draw that same thing up here as far as finding, starting to find some new highs. When you get a stock that's kind of been flagging or kind of correcting for a while, when's a good time to get in? Well, we've discussed this in previous videos where oftentimes when it comes down and finds support, let's say on the 200-day or at the channel here, some people want to just buy right away. Well, if it fails support and it goes right on through, what I like to do, which doesn't mean it's necessarily right, it's right for me because I've lost tons of money in other strategies. What I like to do and is most successful for me is for it to wait and to find new highs. Okay, so let's say right here, we got 70, this thing pulls back and we come down and we get the 50-day here. Okay, well, some people will see the 50-day here and they'll want to buy. Okay, well, that's great. Well, sometimes it'll fail and it might come down to the 100-day and it just absolutely fail. What I like to do is I like to see it find new highs. Okay, this is a fair example, I think. But anyways, we're kind of doing this. I want to see it, start to find new highs and higher lows, to show it's not just trading sideways or it's just some fake out. I want to see it start moving and showing. And I'm willing to give up some action here, some price movement for that validation, because that means a lot to me. The validation means everything. And so if I think this thing's going to come back up here to this level and gain 20%, I'm willing to give up, say 5%. That might seem a little steep, but I need to find that confirmation to validate this thing's climbing. Okay. So not real strong, but hey, look at this day. Wow. Okay. Yeah, clearly, boy, we're out of this. Draw lines. What do we got here? Just not going to draw. Okay. Whatever. But you can see this here, connecting this line to this line. We still haven't broke out of that. What's the RSI doing? Nothing. Now we start making new highs. It's kind of weak and we finally get out of it. And then you look at it. Oh yeah, we are finding new highs and we're starting to climb a bit. So with this, cyber, is it time to get in? Well, we did make new highs. I'm not saying I'm going to jump in this, but you can see right there at 65, let's say we did climb above it. But now looking at the RSI on the longer term, we hit the resistance up here, and now we're punching through it. So that's also a good indicator here. We got some volume. So this thing might be a good play next week. Now, if the markets are strong, how far is it going to go? Well, I look right back here to 69 is resistance, and then say 70.50 again. So we'll see about that. Okay, here's the weekly. This looks good. Climb, pull back, climb, pull back, climb. Can we clear 70.50? That's the question. But anyways, I'm keeping an eye on cyber. I like cyber. Beta. Okay, pretty much just trading sideways here. It's kind of creating a short-term base here. Love to see it find new highs. I'm not going to draw. All right. Yeah, pretty much that's about it. We did the same thing over here. We kind of traded sideways for a bit, popped right out of it. It's on the shorter term, but data's doing strong. Look at the volume back here after earnings. So eBay, I've never played eBay, But looking at eBay here, we've kind of starting to we found new ground here. I like that. So see, we come up, touch 60.93 here, pull back, touched it in on the daily there on the wick, kind of came up through it, finally popped through it, didn't pull back to it. To me, that shows strength. Just pulled back a day or two, had a couple of red days there, and then now green, finding new highs. So that looks good to me. I like that. Here it is on the weekly. Okay, yeah, this is the big picture. Let me back this up. Okay, let me do this. And let me take off all these lines. Stand by here. Alerts. I don't want all the earnings marks on there. Take that. There we go. Okay. And let me take the channel off. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so this is eBay on the weekly. Now, I love these setups. Again, coming up, hitting resistance. I'm going to even bring this down a bit. You get the idea. Come up, trading sideways for a bit. You know, this gets old really quick. This is going back 2013. If you're holding this all the way, I mean, you're probably getting pretty frustrated. You're only floating between, what do we got, 50 and 60, not even 60. But we finally broken out right now. So it's at 63. So look at the last few weeks here. This is great. So, you know, where do you play this? Well, I even like this area here, which it already done. It is already done. Kind of broke out of this and even broke out of the previous highs that we had and found new highs. So again, here's back to the daily. So we kind of cleared that area. We're gone. So eBay looks good. And again, it looks good on the weekly. And so when you look at the weekly, that gives me a much longer term view. Okay. So now I'm going to go really crazy here and nah, I won't. Okay, so that's eBay. EWBC. This is not ringing a bell. What do we got here? Oh, okay, this is just a quick scan. This I'm just showing here. This one's just still finding new highs. Let's take a look at the channel here and see if it shows us anything. Okay, well, again, I don't know much about this outfit, but we are finding new highs here. If you like this channel, there's still some room in it. But what I want to see here is I want to see the RSI break above 70. Hasn't done that. So, you know, if this could climb up to this area a little bit and bounce right off it again like it did here. We'll see. That's EWBC. Then we have GMED. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the weekly on this one. Let me turn off this. Okay, what do we got here? Okay. Well, of course, I want to see this find some new ground. What I did see originally was just kind of this right here. This is finding resistance here at 26. Okay, so this takes us back to the top of the year, essentially. So here we come up, hit it. That was one day we hit it and just bounced right off it. Come up to it again a few times, pulled back. Not really making new highs or higher lows necessarily either. You can see we got some support back here at 23. Just kind of right in this range right now. So can this thing finally push on up and over? I don't know. It's worth a watch. Let's see what we got going over here. You know, I don't know. I'm sure you'd probably draw it a little bit differently, but, you know, let's see if we can break out of this area here. Again, I like to look at the RSI. You know, we have all these indicators and oscillators and all these tools that we can use. And I tell you, keep it simple. I mean, find the tools you like, play with them for a couple of weeks, learn them, and then you're going to probably get turned on to another one and play with it. And I used to use the RSI a lot. Then I used the MACD a lot, or the MACD. Apparently, the guy who created the MACD does not like it being called MACD, and everybody does. I heard that from a trader that had met the guy or knows him or something. But there's the tricks I use, stochastics. I can't even say it anymore. A lot of tools to use, and a lot of them are pretty valuable. but you know, there's not one secret one out there or some complete perfect mix of utilization that's going to give you, it's going to be the holy grail. It's going to tell you every time what's happening. You know, these are all instruments in your dashboard, and they all tell different stories. But if anything I could say, I would definitely suggest that everybody kind of get in and play with them and learn them and use them. And they're all going to have value to you one way or another, I think you'll find. And how you value those and sort those out in your trading platform, well, that's what that's up to you, obviously. So RSI has been good lately. I've found it to be pretty, I've learned a lot about it in the last few years here. And I definitely say today when I use it, I don't use it like I used it back when I started years ago with it. You know, I was always bottom fishing with pennies and crap like everybody else. And, you know, I mean, yeah, you can look and say, well, every time it hits a low, it does hit a low. I mean, yeah, but you know, sometimes it's too late too. Anyways, there are a lot of different strategies in using the RSI, but I'm liking the RSI for finding a change in direction and breakouts and you know, so we all play it differently. So anyways, that's GMED. Let's move on. GTN. Okay, what do we got going here? What did I like about this one? Well, I don't know. What am I seeing here? Was it the weekly? Well, yeah, I don't know. Great television. Well, you know, you see we've come up to resistance here, hit it a couple times, finally popped through. And of course, we've come up. This will probably come down and touch it and then go. So if anything, I don't know why. I just spotted this one today. I'm not seeing what I was seeing then. Anyways, so we'll see. This will probably pull back some more, probably back to the 14s, and then hopefully take off again. HBI. What do we have here? Okay, so basically I just saw this kind of riding along the 100-day. Okay, that's fine. A lot of people probably like, you know, I just played this one not long ago. I played it, I'm not seeing my paper. I did play this one here not long ago, though. Haynesbrand. Anyways, is this ready to go? Well, what I would like to see, I'd like to see it find new highs. I'd like to see it close above, you know, 3250. I'd like to see it close above the 50-day here. So before I buy this, that's what I would want to see. Close above the 50-day. And hopefully there's some volume there. But, you know, this thing pulled back here. It's trading sideways. Yeah, I think it'll take off again. It's a good company. Got some support on the 100-day. It's holding it fine. That's good. So when you put your stop in, you could probably put it confidently just underneath the 100-day there. Highs. And this thing will probably come right back up to this level and hopefully take off from there. Let's look on the weekly. Okay, weekly looks good. Look at that volume. Wow. Oh, we had a split, 4-for-1 split. Okay. Anyways, so this thing's looking good here. Yeah, HBI. Look for new highs. LGND. Ligand Pharmaceuticals. Okay, so basically we have a new breakout here. Find the new highs. Awesome. What do we see here? Perfect. Okay, so this actually would have been, if this, it's a pharmaceutical, and I don't know how well this company, it's not my top 50. But if it was, this would have been a premium pick. Okay. I've come up, hit resistance a few times, finally popped through it, closed above it. I like that about that much above it. This looks great. Next day, we didn't do much. Finally getting some movement out of it. It was up 2.74% on Friday. So is this one going to be a good play? I might guess so. We'll see. Let me see what the RSI is going to show. Oh, okay. Well, what do we have? Let me fix that. Okay. So you can see, looking back to the previous highs on the RSI, we've hit it here, pulled back, hit it here a few more times, pulled back. Between here and here, you see it did climb, but the RSI has been finding lower highs. And here we are back up to test that again. So we'll see. Okay, so it's LGND. Then we have Man H. What do we have here? Okay, just pretty much watching this. This is a little more sloppier. You can see I had drawn in resistance there prior. Might even be safer to put it about here. Now we closed above it right now, but what I see here is this candle is this guy kind of got in the way. Does that kind of open the doors and kind of open the door for more growth in here, or does it create more of a barrier? You know, kind of wonder how many orders do we have sitting up here? People who got stuck holding up here, and believe me, they got sell. They're going to want to exit out as soon as we get back to this level. They don't like that they bought all the way up here holding the bag at $60 and have a pullback. So when this thing starts getting back up here, all these people who got caught here are going to have all their orders sitting there. That's my theory. And those will be exhausted, hopefully, and this thing will pop on through. And so that's what we see when we see this kind of stuff. Okay, QLYS. Okay, here we go. So this is another one. Okay, so this thing just takes a dump, right? And that must have been earnings. I don't see. Oh, I erased earnings off here. Okay, so anyways, this thing came all the way down to the 200-day. Okay, some people just love these kind of plays. And if you bought into this, you'd be doing pretty well right now. You would have got in at 37. It's already at 42.5. Wonderful. Now, what would I do? I wouldn't play these. I don't play these anymore. But what I like to see is new highs. Okay, so, you know, the goal isn't to be right 100% of the time. The goal is to minimize risk and make money. So, yes, because I wouldn't have bought down here, boy, would I have missed out. I sure would have, but that doesn't always work out that way. Again, I want confirmation. And so what I see here is, let's see this guy here. It's just that we just popped through it. You can see in prior days, let me zoom in, prior days, we intraday moved in that range, but it closed underneath it, except finally on Friday. Got a nice pop out of it, 4.35%. Where's this going? Well, I'd like to see it come up and fill this gap back up to 49, but I also see some moving averages in the way, particularly the 100-day moving average and then the 50 just above it. So kind of an interesting play here. Volume is light at 680,000 on average. It's a 20-day moving average on the volume. What does our RSI tell us? Look at that right there. Okay, well, let's see. I mean, you can see we are kind of getting that movement out of it now, so it'd be kind of good to watch this. We're just crossing the 50 on the RSI. Some people like to play that when they cross 50 to get in on the RSI. It's doing that. It's broken out of our broken through resistance there. We got new highs on the daily. We got a gap to fill, but we do have some moving averages. So this one will be a good one to watch. Again, light volume. That's pretty much the absolute minimum for me. I do play, sometimes I've played some stocks with less volume, and I can say that those have just been overlooked by me or whatever. I usually do not. My trading plan says I do not play anything less than usually 700,000. And I have. It was one recently. I don't remember what it was. Timberlake pointed it out, the volume, and I looked at it and I just absolutely missed it. It trades at like 300, and I was like, oh my goodness. And you know, you could do this stuff for years, and sometimes you still make the same mistakes. You don't want to, of course, but you know it happens. I don't have a problem admitting that. So this is QLYS. Okay, next we have TSM. Now TSM, I'm not going to pull up. Okay, TSM, if I remember right, has come right back down. There's a lot of support on it right now. This stupid thing. Let me see if I have it in here. Okay. All right, TSM's not pulling up. Well, if you pull it up on the chart, on your chart, I believe it's pulled back and it's sitting here holding the support right now. And I don't recall if it's given a confirmation of it curling back up again or not. So check that out, I guess. Wall recently, WAL, just had a breakout. Yeah. Okay, let's zoom out a bit here. Let's turn on the linear regression. Okay. So let's take a look at the weekly. Here's the weekly. Looking good. Okay, so okay, so thing to point out here. Let me draw this right here. Okay, so on the weekly, I notice this happens a lot. I've explained this before, but you know, we come up, hit resistance. We keep trading sideways here and kind of forming this ascending triangle kind of pattern, whatever you want to call it. And we finally break through it. Then what happens is often this will come up, then pull back and test it and then go. You know, on the weekly, I could have been faked out, but that little one, it did come back, pounce off it, excuse me, and go. Then pull back again. But this time, going back from January, top of the year, this thing has been a nice steady climber week by week. Let's take a look at the daily. Where was that line I drew? Okay, so here's the line I drew. You can see, again, this is the line I drew back on the weekly. This goes back to the top of 2014. I mean, this thing's been coming up to this area, just finding a lot of resistance at 25. 25 area here. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, you imagine holding this for that long, not breaking through. Imagine being the guy who bought right up here and is going to hold it long and just have this thing up and down, and he's always in the red for years. Finally, he gets a breakout. And of course, it comes back, touches it, starts to climb, pulls back, comes all the way down to the 200-day, and it's been on a run since. So, yeah, anyways, that's wall, and we just had a nice, very short-term breakout here. But it's, according to the linear regression channel here, it's been formed in the last, since the top of the year, we came back and found some support here, and we're starting to climb, and there's some room left in here for this thing to climb. You could probably, looking at the channel here, probably be easy to expect touch 35. So maybe sooner than later. We'll see. So that's wall. A couple more here. XON. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is one. This is a good play here. Okay, so you get these stocks again, they're flagging. And, you know, when are we going to know they're finally curling up? They're going to start climbing again. Well, this is just kind of one. Now, of course, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But we're finding new highs, okay? We've come down here pretty much at the 100-day. Got some nice action out of this thing last week. And we closed up there, closed up above previous highs. And, of course, looking at the RSI, see what that's going to tell us. We look at that high, that high, that high. At least, it's hitting resistance there. Finally popped through. So that's good. That's what I like to see. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Here's the weekly chart. So now the flag looks a little bit more better. It's more of a flag in my eye here. And so we got that nice candle on the weekly. And then you can see now this last week, you can see this is finally starting to break out a bit. So this looks even stronger of a confirmation for me. And then looking at the RSI down here, it's drawn a little ugly here, but you can see we were kind of trending down. We're finally popping out of it. Is RSI going to find new highs now on the weekly? Boy, it looks like it has. So that's an early sign. And did we really give up much? Yeah, a few percent, I guess. But you know what? I think this thing's going to go. And then the other one I have here is YY. I did this one some time ago. Anyways, this just caught my eye that it finally closed up above the 200-day. Found a recent new high. That's pretty much about it. Kind of looking at what do we got here? Looking at this down here. Something like that. What do we got for resistance? Oh, look at 73s. Okay. So this could change things right here. Okay. So, and you can see we got the linear regression channel there, but forget that. But look at this, 73. It's a pretty good area. We might find resistance. So, this thing isn't free and clear. I mean, this isn't an all-time high or anything like that. So how about we take a look at the weekly and see what that shows us? Okay. So here's the weekly. Let's do this. What does this show us? Okay. So you see that right there in the RSI. Come up, boom, boom, boom. Now we're finally popping through it. That's good. You know, and this covers a greater period than just this pullback here. It goes all the way back 2000 into 2013 on the RSI, because we're on the weekly, of course. Okay. See, it found some support there. About, what's that, 50? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, for me on the weekly, I'd like to see it close up above, what's that, 73. Okay. That's what I'd want to see. Get it. Make sure it clears this area here where the blue line is. So what's that going to take? Where are we at now? Okay. Well, that's not very far. So definitely want to see it do that. So anyways, that's YY. Okay. Let me see who we got around here. I thought Nayor at least would be here. Let me see here. Okay, no Nayor. Okay, well, that is where I'm at. Okay, so those are all the stocks I'm watching. So we went over the markets, kind of looking at what to expect for this next week. And again, just to kind of give a quick recap here, my confidence in the market right now is not very strong. And, you know, looking at the S&P here, this is just, you know, in recent months here, this is just kind of a recent, or just a normal kind of pullback here. But again, basing on the number of premium picks I'm getting with the top stocks and finding new highs and breaking out, the number has dwindled. Again, back in January, I had 30 some premium picks, February, 20 some, March, 10, you know, I don't know, but now, I don't have any so far for this month in June. I'm just not seeing it. We're not having those opportunities. And I'm not going to force them, but what does that say? We're just not getting the setups right now. So, again, you know, hopefully I'm wrong, but the market looks pretty weak right now. And, you know, it's trading sideways like this. You know, again, if I were strongly bullish on the market and the market was strong and we had a stock that was playing like this is just what I love to see. I'd want to see new highs. We are pulling back. But again, I'm being a lot more cautious right now. And so, that's just me. Always keep your eye on the markets. Check the markets each day before you trade. Go look at the futures in the morning. Let the thing open up. See what we're doing. You know, I always like to give it 15 minutes. Let the markets do their thing, because the markets can start out right out of the gate green, strong green. Give it 15, 20 minutes, and then it'll turn and it'll go the other way. Okay, it doesn't mean it won't finish the day green, but there's always seems to be a change about first half an hour of the day. So oftentimes I don't like to jump right out of the gate. I'll wait 15, 20 minutes to see what the market does. That's just me. Check it out. Try it out. So yeah, but again, and lastly, again, looking at the Dow here, now it's the Dow, but you can see the Dow is much weaker. It closed beneath the 100-day. Just not looks pretty sad to me. So I am positioned myself to, and I am holding positions on the short side, and I'm holding positions on the long side, pretty much depending on the companies. On the long side, I'm playing the best companies I can. On the short side, I'm playing weak companies that are most likely to fail, and we're doing good on that side as well. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I don't think we have anything else going on. I don't see anybody else here. Ryder, I think, had a busy day today. Timberlake, so he's not around. Nayor, I don't know where Nayor is. Henry's not around. I wasn't sure if Tony would be around. I don't think Tony's joined us here. Yeah, so let me turn off the screen share. All right. Okay, well, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Again, this is Eric from TopFlight Trades. That's kind of the weekend review there. Come over to TopFlight Trades. We have the chat there. It's open. Come tell us what you're playing, what you're doing. You know, we're there throughout the day, primarily in the morning at the open. Things are really excited. We're kind of in there seeing what's going on, looking for opportunities. Then we make our plays, and yeah. So thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, you can email me at topflighttrades@gmail.com or on the website. And yeah, so go enjoy the weekend. Go spend some good quality time with your family and friends today. I know the weather is beautiful here in Seattle. It's hot. My house is already 200 degrees. Time to go play. So look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thanks, guys.